Thank you very much, Ulla, and thank you for allowing me to share a few reflections that are based on, of course, what I heard and what I learned and discussed in the conference yesterday, but also on the empirical work that we are carrying on with the Joint Research Center of the European Commission. So my point today is very political, and it is that not only we need to cast the social economy and social entrepreneurship at the very center of the recovery strategy, but that we need to take social economy and social entrepreneurship, social economy and its entrepreneurs within the perimeter of industrial and innovation policies, because the opportunity is at the crossroad. The reason for that is that it is through contamination between social economy and innovation policy and industrial policy that social economy is going to play the lead and make the difference in shaping an inclusive recovery and growth agenda for Europe. And I was impressed to see the suggestion of our audience that were very, very much in line with the ideas that I'm going to discuss right now. More specifically, I strongly believe that the opportunity lies in the encounter between the transformative power of social entrepreneurship on one side and technological opportunities on the other side. And technological opportunity means, of course, the new frontier of technology, but also the commoditization of technology that is becoming cheap and easy to use. And then the adoption process from the social enterprises and social economy is much easier and is now a very realistic option. Of course, the recovery plan will accelerate digital technologies, green technologies, artificial intelligence, and that's very good news. But my point now is that if social entrepreneurship is not part of the game, is not a core ingredient of our strategy, these may bring in some unintended consequences that we do not want in our new inclusive Europe. And I have 4 reasons to offer for that, and maybe 4 policy implications. The first one is related to the lesson learned from the emergency. We had a great response from social innovators, social entrepreneurs. Actually, they were somehow divided in 2 parts. One part was directly exposed to the front line of the emergency with huge responsibilities, operational costs, and this, of course, created severe problems to social enterprises. And on the other side, we have half of it that was just completely still standing, unable to do anything, because I'm talking about, for example, elderly people transportation, sport activities, things that were not performed. And both of these things created severe problems for social entrepreneurship. And of course, the power of social entrepreneurship was demonstrated, but on the other side, also the fragility and the difficulty to provide large-scale structured solution to social problems. I think we need to recognize that. And probably part of the reason is that the encounter with technology, the encounter of financialization, the encounter with the structured managerial approach has been delayed too much. And it is now time to consider this if we want the social economy to play a structural role and resilient role in response to crisis. This one and the economic and social one that will follow, unfortunately. The second reason is that we need social entrepreneurship to mitigate the unintended consequences of technology and innovation. We are all technology lovers here, but we do know that the acceleration, that huge investment in technological innovation that will come with the recovery fund may have unintended consequences. We do not want that with innovation and technological progress comes a further laceration in society. We don't have more people excluded. We don't want a divided societies. We do not want places left behind. And the intuition on the centrality of social enterprise is very basic, is very clear. Social enterprise is something that can encapsulate and interpret technology and innovation in a way that innovation maximizes its inclusive potential and minimizing the lacerations that could come, the social lacerations that could come with it. So social entrepreneurship has an encapsulator of innovation. Third, technology has a huge role in the transformation of social entrepreneurship. The adoption of technology will switch social entrepreneurship models from labor-intensive to capital-intensity. Huge managerial problems will come in human resources management, in intellectual property right management. More capital will be needed. More investment will need to be attracted. We'll have investors in the governance, and the risk of mission drift will be there. So we need to take this issue very seriously. Fourth, maybe more important, is that we need to redefine the way knowledge and the value of knowledge, of research and innovation is conveyed to society. We come from the age of the knowledge economy. We had great expectations, but we see now that a lot of exclusion, that a huge polarization in few places of wealth and opportunities has come, and we need to redistribute the way knowledge creates value on a broader audience. And I think that social entrepreneurship, the network of social entrepreneurship, should be imagined in the new recovery plan as a sort of diffused and distributed incubator and accelerator of new entrepreneurship. This will bring again in the game that part of society and that part of the geography of Europe that has been excluded by the knowledge economy. So what do we need to do? That's very short. We want to favor the encounter between technological opportunities and social entrepreneurship in order to deploy its potential. We first need to redefine traditional technology transfer policies. One thing I've already mentioned, the first age of cohesion policies has helped us to create science parks and incubators basically everywhere in Europe. And these models was thought for university to talk to high-tech startuppers. I think we need to teach universities and the research system to develop a new generation of technology transfer policies that will include the relation of social entrepreneurs and society. So first, a new generation of technology transfer. Second, we need to rediscover and redesign demand-side policies. First, we need to expose social enterprises to tech challenges, to knowledge and learning density, knowledge and learning intensity, local places. This is a new idea of place-based innovation policies, creating places with high learning and technology density where social entrepreneurs can mutually learn together with profit organization, with institution, with public administration, and so on and so forth. Second, has already been said, procurement. European Commission has had very important achievements in social procurement on the one side and in innovation procurement on the other side. Now the challenge is to put social and innovation together. The new challenge is to have innovative and social procurement together for the next future in order to create early markets for social entrepreneurs. The third one is to change our idea of open innovation, to broaden the concept of open innovation and get social entrepreneurship into the game. And this again involves new partnership between profit sector and social entrepreneurship. right? So a new generation of open innovation models that do consider social enterprises as a key player in the story. It is obvious that these two things, first, the high-tech intensity living labs on the one side for social enterprises and open innovations and new forms of partnership do require a place-based approach. And so I think that one key point is switching and is changing the unit of political action, and we need to elect clusters and local policies and social entrepreneurship ecosystem as the basic and fundamental unit of political action. And so I do encourage to think of clusters as the new unit, elementary unit of action that has to characterize the future cohesion policy agenda, but also the future recovery strategy. Finally, of course, technology adoption and the encounter with technology means capital intensity, as we said, and of course, these new entities that are created in the contamination between social entrepreneurship and innovation need to grow, need to elect themselves as high potential forms of entrepreneurship, so to play a role in the growth of Europe. And of course, we need to do so by maintaining the constitutive and the founding values of social entrepreneurship. And for this reason, in order to match growth and purpose, we need specialized finance. So on the other side, policies will need to address the very important idea of impact finance, support it, but especially making sure that impact finance preserves its integrity. Its integrity means that it has to support social enterprises without any kind of mission distortion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for those very great insights in what you're planning, what you're doing, and so on. And yeah, thank you for having you also today in our call and in our sessions. So
well, that was my pleasure. Thank you very much.